So I tried out the carnivore diet for 1 week, and I did this on my channel like last summer, and I basically did it where I just ate meat, right? That's what the carnivore diet is. So you can only eat meat. You can eat like fish, meat, eggs. I actually ate a little bit of cheese with it as well, but this was because Hamza said you could eat cheese with it, and I was doing it in response to like a challenge that he'd set. It was like Hamza's carnivore diet challenge. He actually deleted the video. I don't know why he deleted it, but yeah, so I did that video in response to his video as kind of a challenge. So I'm really just talking about in this video what to do with the carnivore diet, what I think of it, and if you should do it or not. Now I'll say straight off the bat, there's a bunch of stuff I love about the carnivore diet, but there was one thing in particular that I really didn't like about the carnivore diet, and I'll talk about all that. So first of all, what is the main reason why you would go onto the carnivore diet? For me, it was the cognitive benefit. So I'm running this YouTube channel, and in order to make videos, in order to come up with video ideas, in order to speak on camera, and in order to be energetic, I have to be on top form mentally, right? If I'm mentally fatigued, like I'm a little bit mentally fatigued now, I'm not gonna lie, because I've just come back from work and it's been a long fucking day at work. But if I'm mentally fatigued, like really badly, I'm not gonna be able to make videos. I'm not gonna be able to perform. I'm not gonna be able to come up with any ideas. So the biggest thing for me for the carnivore diet was the mental clarity that came with it. Now, why is it that the carnivore diet affords you mental clarity? And the main reason I think is because there's no carbs involved. And it's been known for a while now, I think, and it's one of the biggest lies in the world today that we're taught as a kid in school, is that carbs are incredibly healthy, and eating lots of carbs is very healthy. So lots of veg, lots of fruit, bread, pasta, all this shit, right? Rice, it's all super healthy, okay? Now there's obviously ones in there that are certainly healthier than others, but carbs make you incredibly tired. From what I found from when I eat a lot of carbs, especially in the morning or like for lunchtime, I'll have this huge afternoon crash and I just can't concentrate. So eating too much carbs is bad for your brain. I think the science behind this, from what I understand, is because your brain and your body primarily run off of glucose, which is abundant in carbohydrates. So when your body breaks down carbohydrates, it can very easily convert that into glucose, which your brain thrives on. It loves glucose. But one of the things that the carnivore diet does is it puts you into a state called ketosis. And this is where your body has it does have glucose in it, but it's like your brain has to start running off of ketones, which is something that is created when fat cells break down, I believe. I could be wrong. I need to investigate the science a bit more behind why this happens. Excuse me. But your brain runs off of ketones. And from what I understand, your brain runs a little bit more efficiently on ketones, and it doesn't make you as tired. And carbs are very important in the production of melatonin, which is the hormone that puts you to sleep. So this is kind of a double-edged sword, because no carbohydrates means great, we're going to be more energetic, we're going to be more mentally clear throughout the day. But how are we going to get to sleep, right? We need the carbs to actually manufacture the melatonin that's going to allow us to get into a rested state and to actually fall asleep. So that is one of the issues with the carnivore diet. It's not the main one, but it's one issue. I actually didn't have this problem, but it can actually make it difficult for you to fall asleep. I personally was fine. I actually managed to get to sleep fine, but I know for a lot of people, carnivore diet, it can be difficult to get to sleep. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Some of the benefits of the carnivore diet was it's very tasty, right? Okay. So I really like eating meat and fish and eggs and protein. I think it's very nice food. And it's quite simple as well when you're preparing the food. So to cook it, right, you just chuck it in a pan, chuck the eggs in there, chuck the meat in there, fry it up. It's fucking easy, bro. Easy, there's no excuse, right? It's easy to cook on the carnivore diet, and the meals are simple, right? You can just have a bowl of beef, done, right? It's a very simple diet to be on. So it takes a lot of the headache out of cooking, right? Like pasta and shit, right? Who wants to do that? So it's an easy diet to be on. Another benefit is abundant protein, right? So you're going to have a bunch of protein. And if you're cutting, this is important. So if you're cutting, so you're trying to lose body fat, you're eating in a calorie deficit, so your body is burning more energy in the day with your basal metabolic rate combined with your gym and walking and cardio. Your basal metabolic rate is going to be essentially higher than your actual caloric intake, which means that your body is going to be on average burning more calories than it's taking in, and it means it has to go to fat reserves and actually muscle as well to break that down to actually fuel your body for the day. So in this state that your body's in, there's a couple of things happen. Your body's going to look for places in your body to actually break down tissue to use that into energy instead. And it's going to go to your fat stores, but it's also going to go to your muscle. So a lot of people who go on a cut and are trying to lose weight, you'll also lose a bit of strength at the gym. You're going to lose a bit of muscle. And this is a problem because we don't want to lose muscle. We only want to lose fat. So how do we, we've got muscle and fat. Our body is going to try and burn muscle, and it's actually going to try and reserve the fat, right? In your body's mind, not your mind, but in your body's perspective, fat is more important than muscle because fat yields more like energy, right? So when you burn fat, it's like 9 calories per like macro or whatever, right? And then per gram, I think. And then muscle, like protein, is less, okay? So your body's going to try and reserve the fat and just get rid of the muscle. So how do we flip that? How do we say, no, just burn the fat, try and keep as much muscle as possible? If we're in a state of ketosis with the carnivore diet, we're going to minimize the amount of like muscle breakdown, okay? And we're going to maximize the amount of protein like synthesis, okay? So we need to, because being on a protein-based diet where you're literally just eating protein, it's basically going to, anytime you go to the gym, that's going to help build and repair muscle, and having an abundance of protein in there as well is going to basically minimize, it's going to bias your body towards burning fat rather than burning muscle tissue. But if you don't have a lot of protein in your system, you don't even have enough to repair the muscle, then your body's just going to get rid of it if you're going to cut. And if you're on a bulk, I don't think it really matters too much, because as long as you hit your protein goal, you're fine. One of the things that I struggle with is, and this is the thing that was the biggest issue for me, was I was on a bulk at the time. Bulking on the carnivore diet is virtually impossible. It's very, very difficult. You can try it. It's very expensive, and you have to eat an ungodly amount of meat, and it's very difficult, right? You can go watch my video on it when I was doing it for a week, but I was incredibly full throughout the whole day. Not full like, fall over tired full. Full as in like I was still energetic, I could still make videos, I was still feeling good, but I could not physically eat any more food. And I was doing this all within MyFitnessPal and tracking everything, and I ate a ton of food. I was nowhere near the 3,000 calories that I'd assigned for myself to have to eat to bulk. I was nowhere near. So it's very difficult to bulk on this diet and gain weight. And that was my biggest complaint with it, is it's so good. This diet is so good if you're trying to cut. It's not good if you're trying to bulk, in my opinion, from my experience. It's just too much food to have to eat to bulk. And I think if you're bulking on this diet, you really need to try and just eat as much meat as possible and then substitute the rest of the calories, unfortunately, with maybe like nuts or something, and do sort of more of a keto diet and just get your calories that way, because if you don't, it's just impossible. It's impossible. You need some more calorie dense foods. And then another complaint I had about the carnivore diet was I started having this craving for fruit. Like, it does get a little bit boring, even if just doing it for a week. And to be fair, I could probably have found some different foods to try, and to try out some different meats and fish and stuff and protein, and that could have helped. But it was a little bit boring, and that was the main kind of issue. But yeah, main problems with it was it's difficult to bulk. It can make it difficult for some people to sleep, and it made me crave wanting to eat fruit. And it took a bit of willpower to sort of not eat any fruit or anything, because I started to feel a little bit like not fresh. You know what I mean? Like I needed some fruit or something. And I know that's just my body craving sugars, which is fine. but I was craving. Okay, so you might be in a little bit of a state of craving for a bit, but I only did it for a week. So I imagine if I had done this for months on end, I wouldn't have had those cravings anymore. That have gone away. So, but the positives are amazing diet to cut on. It is brilliant for mental clarity. It's going to help you feel better, right? I just felt better, to be honest. When I was on the diet, I just felt good, felt productive. I was doing lots of walks, had great gym workouts, like really good workouts. I was doing all kinds of self-improvement stuff. I was making a bunch of videos. I felt good, right? So I think overall, it's a fantastic diet. I definitely recommend you do it. If you're on a cut, if you have some big fitness goals right now, and you're not so much bothered about getting loads of work done and being super productive on your business and your YouTube channel or your school work or your university work, and you're not so bothered about sort of having the brain power, that's not really your top priority. If your top priority is like gym performance and lifting heavy shit and building muscle and really going for that, then I'd say you might struggle on the carnivore diet, but that's just from my experience. I'm sure if anyone here is on the carnivore diet or has a whole channel dedicated to carnivore diet or something and knows more about it and has done longer than a week, I'd love to hear some of your feedback on like bulking on the carnivore diet, because I do want to go back onto it, right? I felt good on it, so I want to go back onto it, but this was my overall kind of experience and thoughts on it, and I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like in the video that I made originally, it was more like a vlog, like vlogging what I did, and I wanted to just explain it a bit more in depth in terms of my overall experience with the diet. So that's about it. If you were thinking about starting the carnivore diet, I hope that provided some valuable insight, and that's about it. Thank you for watching, bro, and I'll see you next one.